Welcome to the Shootin The Que podcast, presented by Heath Riles Barbecue, with tips, tricks, and an inside look with some of the top pitmasters in the game. Now here's your host, Heath Riles.
Welcome back to another episode of Shootin The Que. Today I'm joined with my lovely wife, Candace. How are you doing today, honey?
I'm good.
Well, we're finally back and going to do a recap of Key West. And I can tell you, we come back from Key West and we hit the ground running. We both had other trips we had to go on. And we're just now getting caught up about 3 weeks later.
Yep. Lots of traveling.
It has been lots of traveling for sure. For everyone who don't know, we attended Barron Burton's Key West Invitational in Key West, Florida, back in August, on the weekend of August 23rd through the 25th, and it was an incredible fundraiser for pediatric brain cancer. We happened to go down a little bit early to go fishing with Bear first, and that was a good time, wasn't it?
It was a good time. It wasn't, the fish weren't biting as well as we would have liked that day, but I think that was for everybody that was trying to fish that day.
Yeah, nobody had a really good day.
The talk of the water as we were just going around talking to different people.
Well, I think everybody on the radio was going, "Hey, are you catching anything over there? Hey, are you catching anything over there?"
But he kind of took us on like a scenic ride, and remember we went to some really beautiful water and watched the dolphins jump by the boat and all that stuff.
Well, and just learning about some of the islands and some of the history.
He was our tour guide.
Yeah, about people owning some of the islands out in the Keys like they do, and how those have been donated back now to like government agencies and research facilities and things like that. It's pretty intriguing to me and cool about all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was neat.
But talking about all that, we got there, we fished with Bear that first day. Well, then the next day was the official first day of the Key West Invitational. So we started off and we went fishing with Captain Kyle Kelso, and we had him on the podcast before, which we fished with him before, and he's a great guide. The one thing I like about him, he rolls like me. He keeps his stuff clean as a pen. When we got out of that boat and we got the garbage out of it, he's taking a rag and wiping it down and wiping it off, and any kind of water spots. I mean, and I respect that 110%. I mean, for sure.
Yeah.
That's but we had a great time with him. We caught a lot of fish that first day with him. But it wasn't just us talking about the event there. There was a lot of big names of barbecue there, and we've done some videos. We got 4 videos up, 4 recap videos. We took all of our social media team with us. And it was a really good time. But we had Matt Pittman from Meat Church there, and Max the Meat Guy, TFTI Barbecue, Chad Ward. Cosmo didn't make it, but some of his crew was there. Joey Machado was representing him. Mike Starr from Blazing Star Barbecue. Of course, our good friends Bob and Mo. Boar's Not Out from our area was there. Alan and Eric and their team. And then Mark Lambert was there. Come in with Jim Compart. We had Hay Grill Hay, Tuffy Stone, of course, our crazy buddy Stale Cracker. And I've got to say, for anybody that does not know Justin Stale Cracker, he definitely caught the biggest fish of the weekend by far.
It's just like his luck.
Or
whatever you want to call it.
He thought it was coming off the line, so he dove in the water to grab the fish, which was incredible. And it was 175-pound tarpon. And I will try to put the picture up here in the video just to show everybody. But he is fishing with Paul. And what is Paul's last name? I can't remember the captain, but Paul's a captain. He owns a rum distillery down there in Key West, Florida. And he is also a chef. He has done things with Gordon Ramsay and things like that. And a lot of people don't know that about Paul. But he's a really interesting character himself. And he has the same charisma about like Stale Cracker. He jumped in the water with him. I mean, he's just a crazy guy like that too. But it was a lot of people there. I have not heard how much money was raised exactly. I think they're still trying to tally everything up, but it was an incredible incredible time for us. That first day went great, though. We went out and done all that. And just to recap about that, we took some notes about all that. That first day, I caught the most fish, which I caught 8. And
Of the same thing.
Yeah. Of the same thing, but I was doing good with them. And snappers.
Well, after you catch the fish, you get minimum points for catching continuous.
Well, I can't help what was biting that hook. That ain't my problem. But I caught my first barracuda, which is really cool.
Yeah.
That's an interesting fish.
Yeah.
Puts up a good fight.
That's the one like you really can't bring it in the boat, right?
No, that's a tarpon. You can't bring it in the boat.
Whichever. I knew it was one of them.
Yeah. And that's one reason I think Justin and Stalekracker and them jumped out to get that fish. It was barely hooked. But he said he fought that fish 57 minutes before he got it to the boat.
We caught 2 tarpon with bear.
Yeah, we did. They weren't 175 pounds.
No, they were not.
Now, the one I caught, how big was that tarpon I caught? And that was my very first tarpon, too.
I don't know.
I can't remember what Bear said. I think it was 20 pounds. It wasn't nothing big.
No.
But 20 pounds is still a good fish.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. In my opinion, it is. But it was a really good time. That thing with Stalekracker, though, was crazy. No doubt in my mind.
I'd just like to have heard like the conversation going on. I'm sure it's not on a video, or it may be on a video, but it's probably like beep, 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 beep.
It was, oh, man, that dude's something else. I laugh just thinking about him. I really do. But you're not, that's one of the best genuine dudes in our whole sport, I guess I don't really want to call it a sport, but in our arena of business, he's one of the most genuine characters out there, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, hardcore. I wish I could hunt like that and fish, because he's definitely living the dream hunting fish.
It's like a Louisiana thing.
I know. I got to get down there. He keeps
there's
telling me
to
come.
There's some outlaws around here like that, but they ain't really doing it the way they're supposed to.
I need to carry my one outlaw buddy down there. You know who I'm talking about.
I don't know.
Old Daryl.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That was a good time. Well, Thursday when we were there, before even really started fishing on day one, there was a kickoff party at the Docks Seafood Restaurant Bar and Grill. Kind of packed there at the Docks. But we ate at the Docks last year, which was incredible, and we wound up eating there this year too. But it was a great party.
Yeah.
And we met some really cool people, like the Nasty Beast, like teas and things like that. That's owned by Monster now.
Yeah.
The guy that started this
I tried some of those.
tea business stuff.
Y'all really liked them.
I mean, they're 6% alcohol. They're a little. They'll sneak up on you before you know it. I'll say that. Jake liked them, and then we went over to the
your son.
Yeah, and my son liked them. And we went over to the Hogfish Bar and Grill for dinner that night because it was kind of crowded at the Docks. That was, I don't even want to talk about that one. That was not a good experience at Hogfish Bar and Grill that day.
Very large disappointment.
But a lot of people loved Hogfish later on, but I don't know if it was just something at night. It was late when we got over there.
It was. I don't know. So. It was definitely not anything to talk about.
No. I like my beer cold, not hot.
I remember what I got there alcohol-wise. Wine, probably.
But going on to that first day, we had a good time, caught a lot of fish. Stalekracker catching that huge fish there. We come back, and we went to the Dock Seafood Bar and Grill that night for dinner.
Yeah.
And had an incredible meal there. The stuffed grouper with the broccolini and the finger-length potatoes was incredible.
Is that what I got? I don't remember. I don't remember what I got.
Yeah. I know it was good. The special was really good. But then we just kind of went back to the hotel that night and went to bed because it was almost 10 o'clock by the time we got back, and we had to be up the next morning
do it all over again.
I think back down when we had to be at the docks around, I think I got down there about 7 because they were serving breakfast and all that kind of stuff, and the boats left out at 8 again. So you had to load up your boat and all that kind of stuff. So we went out, and the Saturday was pretty cool. You had the choice of either going lobster diving or fishing again. Mm-hmm. And we chose to go fishing again because we went lobster diving last year, and that is just, it's hard. It's hard. So about half the teams, I think, went lobster diving, and about half went fishing. And we had a really good day fishing again. We hooked up on a lot of sharks.
Well, that was kind of our strategy that day. Was the first day we went after all the different species. So day 2, we still went after different species, but it was like sharks.
Well, we wound up catching 4 sharks and some grunts and stuff. You caught 3 grunts, but we had a really good time. And we only done that to lunch, and then, it come a little spit of rain. And then we made it out to the sandbar.
Well, we kind of delayed getting there because we were just watching it rain in front of us.
Yeah. You remember we seen that water spout coming out?
Oh, we saw a water spout.
And somebody caught some of that on film over at the sandbar, Randy Pauly, I think.
I think it was Randy.
And I didn't even mention Randy Pauly's name, who's Mr. Bucky's, you may as well call him, was there. But it was so many people there. But the sandbar, we finally got there, set up tents. RC Ranch was kind enough to donate Wagyu burger patties already pressed out. So we kind of had like a little Cheeseburgers in Paradise kind of little deal and turned in a cheeseburger out in the water and let it be judged, and just had a good time. Cooked some Wagyu beef hot dogs, hung out, had some drinks.
And they had all those different pickles there that they gave everybody too.
So Mount Olive is coming out with another pickle line called Majestic Pickles.
That's right. That's what it's called.
And they have a smoked bourbon barbecue dill pickle.
I think it's like a bread and butter pickle.
I
don't think that was the deal, but they do have dill.
Yeah, they have a deal. Yeah, they have a deal, but it's 4 or 5. No, it's 6 different.
It was
ones,
several different
because they have 2
things.
relishes as well. Maybe it's 4 pickles and 2 relishes.
Things.
But they have a lot of new interesting takes on pickles, because pickles is kind of making I don't say a favorable comeback. It never has left, but it seems like you see more pickle flavored things now.
Well, we actually just saw those in our local grocery store too. So I guess they're
good.
They're there now.
I'm typically not a fan of barbecue flavored like pickles, but that bourbon barbecue flavor in that pickle is really good in that bread and butter pickle.
I'm not a huge bread and butter pickle fan, honestly, but those were good. I did like them. And then I didn't actually try. They had a dill variety, but you tried it. You don't normally like dill pickles, but you said that was good.
Had big chunks of garlic in it.
Yeah.
It was good. It was really good. And they were whole, I don't want to call them mini gherkins. They were bigger than gherkins. They were larger than that. But they were really, really good to be a dill pickle.
They weren't chips.
But we made it out to Sandbar that day, had the Cheeseburgers in Paradise contest, and honestly, another cloud was coming up, and we were probably the second or third boat to leave. And the one thing that I didn't think about, we didn't even get in the picture this year of the whole group at the end. We didn't wait it out till they loaded all the grills.
It was about to storm.
It was about to storm, and there's not but about 5 boats that made it back to the dock before the bottom just absolutely fell out. A lot of people got caught out in the rainstorm.
Well, and for the people that don't know, like if you've never been in a rainstorm on a boat, it's not just like standing in the rain. It's like
beating you.
It stings very badly as you go
Especially when you get that boat laid down coming back. Ain't that right?
Yeah. I mean, we experienced that last year, but we experienced it a few times this year as well. It's not something you can deal with it, but it's just not comfortable.
Yeah. So we got back to the dock, and kind of everybody went back to rooms and kind of got ready, and we left and went to dinner that night. And by the time everybody got back, we went to a place called the Stone Crab. And I don't typically say this kind of stuff, but I think 3 of the 7 people got sick from the shrimp there. It was not a good experience at the Stone Crab for 3 of us.
It was another disappointment of a restaurant.
Yeah, it was not that great. And it was just we just wanted to go somewhere we knew it wouldn't it ain't like we're trying to.
Yeah, we were running into the issue, not really an issue, but we had a large party, group. And so in Key West, a lot of restaurants are not large or accommodating, so you kind of have to go where you can fit.
Yeah, that's right. But we thought it would have been a lot better considering the ratings and things like that.
It was not. It was not at all.
But we made the best of it. But the next day, we got back and I think we visited the bar that evening, had 1 or 2 cocktails before we turned in. And I did because that's where I actually talked to the owners of Melinda's Hot Sauce.
I think you went down to the bar and I went to the room.
And I talked to those gentlemen a while, him and his son, and they have an interesting story. And I never had tried any of the Melinda's hot sauces. And I'm a huge fan of the black truffle hot sauce that he has. I like it. It's really good. But he's got some wing sauces and things like that, and they're great too. I haven't had a bad one yet. I'm not one to eat the super hot stuff, so I hadn't tried none of the super hot ones. I didn't get any of those, but his other stuff, he's got a garlic parm and all that's really good too. I haven't tried any of them yet. Really cool. But day 3, after I shut down I'm not going to say I shut down the bar because I didn't. I left before it shut down. I come to the room, and day 3 we started out and we done the BBQ contest there right outside of the room at the pool deck. Yep. And they gave us tri-tip, Manhattan cut New York strips, turkey breast, and ribs. Yes. And the ribs were kind of simple. We just cooked the ribs on the green egg. The turkey breast, we used chicken injection brine and garlic jalapeno rub and made like a bang bang sauce with simple citrus and Jake's SPG rub and some blue plate mayo, and we bacon wrapped them. Kind of smoked them and grilled them off, and those turned out real well. We got a lot of compliments on those, and a lot of tokens. Yeah. For those that don't know, that's kind of how it works. Like you have a box, and the people that paid to be at the event get so many tokens, and they go around and try the food, and they give you the tokens if they like your product the best, basically. It's kind of a people's choice kind of vote deal. Yeah, kind of like people's choice. The tri-tip, we kind of injected it and seared it off on the Mini Max and made like some little tacos with chipotle crema and pico with some of those Mount Olive pickles chopped up in it and things like that, and some cilantro and lime. The New York strips, we kind of just grilled off and put them on a crostini with some garlic herbs like cheese spread and a balsamic drizzle. Mm-hmm. That turned out pretty good. And then it says I lost audio feed because I jumped in the pool with my mic on. I had forgot about that. I ruined a set of microphones. I got a little wet in the pool. I didn't realize it. I think that was me, and actually I know how it got wet. Stale Cracker dove in the pool because I wasn't but about waist deep. Yeah, and he dove in on 3 or 4 of us, me and the Macklemore boys, and I don't know who else was in the pool, but yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one, for sure. But yeah, that was a good one. But I don't think I ever even got in the pool. Did you not? Mm-mm. I got in it. I was over there serving the food while you're over there playing. I was conversating in the pool, having a cocktail with the gentleman. That's what I like to say. I thought it was a good time myself. I was over here doing all the work, like always. Candace, don't you even be fibbing with that. I was. About doing work always? Yes. It may not be the type of work that you like, but yes. It might be cleaning up after a 2-year-old versus working at the barbecue office, but yeah, it's always work. Well, there's no doubt about that. No doubt about that. But we had a really good time, and then after all those turn-ins, they had a belly flop contest. Yes, and I couldn't see it. I was so disappointed because last year we had like a front row seat because it just kind of happened, but this year it was more planned, and everybody like hovered around, and I couldn't see anything. So I guess I need to go watch the video. Well, it definitely got a little crazy, and I've never been one for the whole belly flop thing. Even as a kid coming up, I'm just not me. You're not you? I'm not on belly flops. I don't do that. So a lot of the other guys did it. Stale Cracker, Chuck's Flavor Train, Steven, Captain Ron, Dave Williamson, Mel with Dark Side of the Grill, Rick Hewitt from 3 Taxi Guys, one of the RC Ranch guys. And, it really got down to the final round between Meat Dave, Chuck's Flavor Train, and Stale Cracker. And to me, it come down to weight. And let's face it, Chuck's Flavor Train, he's got the pounds on the boys. You could probably take the other 2 and add them together, and I think that'd probably equal Chuck. I don't know, maybe. I don't know. Stale Cracker's he's probably pretty heavy. He's pretty solid. Not his arms is about like a jiggly way, but not in a jiggly way, but. No, His arms is about like that Yeti tumbler here. They rock solid.
You've been touching on him?
Yeah, I touched on him. Hugged on him. That dude's something else. I'm telling you, he's crazy. But it was a good time at Key West, and I don't know. We've already had some phone calls about dates for next year, trying to figure out dates.
Oh, goodness.
And then about lobster season and things like that. And he said something about adding hand fishing for sharks. Now, I don't even know what that entails.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I guess tying the line.
I misheard you.
I guess tying the line around your hand is what I would think it was. Maybe it's not that.
I think I need to speak to our captain about this and ask his opinion.
But it sounds kind of cool to me. I mean, sounds like some redneck stuff I used to do. I mean, I fished this weekend. I mean, I didn't catch anything big. Probably a pound bass was probably the biggest I caught this weekend. We were just pond hopping.
I don't know how I feel about that. Hand fishing for shark? Like, how would that even work? Like,
on a hand line. Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. Maybe troll. I don't know.
Because you got to put like some.
That'd be fun. I put on some big welding gloves. I'd do it. I wouldn't do it barehanded. I wouldn't be scared to do it.
I probably wouldn't be able to do that. I don't know.
I wouldn't let you go in. Hey, look, guys.
Did they speak to the captains about this? Because I feel like they're going to be like, what? No.
I don't know.
We can't be doing that with these people.
I don't know. But that's what was mentioned, so I don't know.
It might be interesting, I guess.
Well, maybe
somebody might come back without an arm. I don't know.
Look, I don't really know what that is. I don't really know what's entailed, so I don't, maybe the name don't really fit the description like it should with that. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you're not going to be sticking your hand in the water to catch him.
Oh, I know, I
mean?
won't.
I mean, that's like grappling, you know what I mean? Noodling, whatever you want to call it. You ever done that?
No.
Stuck your hand in a hole for a catfish?
No.
In a barrel?
I haven't done that.
Now, that's pretty wicked.
You like got to get in the water for that.
Oh, yeah.
What I mean, that where you're going to find those catfish, that's one thing getting in that water, but the water at Key West, I don't know.
You still got to deal with snakes and all that.
Yeah, true.
Either way it goes, we'll make it work. Well, look, maybe next week we'll be able to recap how much money was raised. I kind of text. I hadn't got a text back yet. I don't know if they're finished adding everything up, but maybe we'll be able to tell everybody that in the next week. We've got some good guests coming up in the next week. We got some more people coming in studio, and I have to apologize for not getting some more podcasts at Key West like we were going to. We had some stuff scheduled, and just was so much how busy we were and things like that, we were not able to capture the podcast. So that's why we've missed a few weeks of podcast here. So just now trying to get caught back up and being in office. So now we'll be back to our regular scheduled programming. And we'll see y'all next week with another episode of Shootin' The Que.
Thank you for tuning in to the Shootin' The Que podcast. If you have any comments or suggestions for future episodes, please feel free to reach out to us on our social media channels or through our website. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform. Leave us a review if you enjoyed the show. Until next time, keep shooting the Que.